Hello there. My name is Bill Carroll, and I work in a field where I work with job seekers. I was recently at a job fair, and I noticed several things. The good news is an increasing number of job seekers are more savvy about things like using keywords in their resume and placing keywords in their resume in such a way that it supercharges their chances of being seen. People are using LinkedIn more and better than ever before. However, I also noticed some other things that were still sort of disturbing. Spell check sometimes fails you because it only tells you if a word is spelled correctly, not if you're using the right word. Please go back and have a human, if you're not great at spotting certain things, go back and look at your resume. Still, amongst the number one reasons that resumes are rejected is misused and misspelled words. So please double check for things like that. Formatting and things like that are also issues, but are slightly down in terms of the other thing. Another thing I noticed, of course, is tattoos. I am a tattoo agnostic person. I came very close at one point to getting a tattoo, didn't, and I'm not anti-tattoo. However, some employers are tattoo agnostic. They can take them or leave them. Some are anti-tattoo, and some are very accepting, tattoo friendly. Make sure you know something about corporate culture when you're applying to a company, particularly if it's a large company. Many large companies have an actual written or stated tattoo policy. So everything from law firms to hotels, restaurants, even hospitals, very often will have, if it's a one that's corporate owned, will often have some sort of actual explanation of what kind of tattoos they will accept. Very often tattoos are acceptable if they are not above the collar line, if they're not below the level of where a long sleeve shirt would cover, or even visible tattoos are not a problem as long as they don't have things like corporation logos, profanity. Sometimes there's even some places that will object to certain things that might be overtly political. But that gets interesting because it, once again, dig into that corporate culture about what they do and don't like and why they do and don't like it. Other thing I want to make sure that I mention very quickly, if you do have a tattoo on your face, on your hands, places where your tattoo is going to be visible, if you are not too self-conscious to do so, you can actually cover it up. There are concealers out there. I'm not recommending that you go out and, slap a bunch of makeup on yourself, but there are concealers, some of them even specific to tattoo usage. I'm not a huge expert on that, but I have done a tiny bit of research. So if you have real questions about that, let me know. Last but not least, regarding things like tattoos, piercings, etc., look at the company's website, right? Look at their advertisements. Do you see people who have body modifications, tattoos, piercings, etc., in their ads on their website? Then it's a probably fairly accepting environment of those things. You can work in a lot of clothing stores. You can work in a lot of places with visible tattoos. You can work in, even like I said, law firms, hospitals with visible tattoos, depending upon what kind of tattoos they are. A very large number of people who are now entering the healthcare professions, legal professions, all kinds of professions, IT, name something, have tattoos. But not all tattoos are created equal. So make sure that you understand if there's a stated policy, what it is. Sometimes when there's not an actual written policy, there are things that they have in there who feels like a good fit, right? And there are people losing out on opportunities simply because they do have a tattoo and it's in the wrong place or it's the wrong type of tattoo. Another big decision is if you should get rid of your tattoo. If it's something you got when you were 17 years old and it's an AK-47 and it no longer represents who you are, there are a few places, even that uh, for no pro bono, for no price, some places will allow you. Sometimes you have to be low income to qualify for them, so just double check. But some places, just if you're a person that had previous affiliations and you've changed and those no longer reflect who you are, will help you with doing their best to eliminate that tattoo. But once again, depending upon the colors and what your skin is like and things like that, sometimes tattoo removal is difficult if not impossible. So I can't recommend it for most people. But if you find a place you want to work, they are not super tattoo friendly. If you're able to cover up that tattoo, get the job, stay there for a few weeks, make sure that they really like you, and then you have a coming out, polite way of putting it. One of two things will happen. They'll either say, hey, we didn't know you had that tattoo. Can you do something about it? And you can say, yeah, I'll go right back to covering it up. Or They may terminate you. But if there's no written policy, you may have grounds for a lawsuit. Once again, I'm not a lawyer. You want to talk to a lawyer about that. But if they have a written policy and you have violated it, you can at that point be terminated for cause. So if you have questions about piercings, tattoos, etc., as I work with job seekers and as I work between job seekers and employers, these are questions I often will ask depending upon what kind of place of employment. And particularly on the high end or when you're dealing with more conservative clientele, that tends to be more of a problem. There are plenty of places where people have no problems with name a type of body modification, but you should know going in. So I hope all of you who are not yet working will soon be working. Those of you who would like to be working someplace else, I hope you will soon be working in a place that is better suited to you. You can let me know if I can ever help you in any way with everything that deals with interviewing, resumes, cover letters, interview preparation, job searching, job seeking, and of course, career path. Once again, this is Bill Carroll, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon.